topic of multiplication of fractions, we are going to have two video lessons. The first video lesson will go over the theory of why we multiply numerators and multiply denominators in fraction multiplication. And the second video will then use our algorithm to solve some problems and simplify and prepare you for the sprint. So our example for this first video, 2/3 times 5/6. So we are taking 2/3 of 5/6. So we know our algorithm tells us that we multiply numerators, 2 times 5, which is 10, and we multiply denominators, 3 times 6, which is 18. And then we also know that we can simplify this fraction because the numerator and denominator both have a factor of 2. So we can divide numerator by 2 and denominator by 2, and we get 5/9. Okay, so now we are going to now show this with two pictures why this algorithm works, the algorithm of multiplying numerators and multiplying denominators. So our first picture here is called an area model. So this is a rectangle and 5/6 of the area is shaded in. So we have 6 parts and I shaded in 5 of them. So we start with 6 parts and we take 5 of them. Whoops, I wrote 6. We take 5 of them to show 5/6. Now we want to take 2/3 of this shaded in area part, since this is the 5/6. And since 5 is not divisible by 3, it's not easy to take thirds of it, we are going to divide this way into thirds. So now we have over here, we have 3 parts going this way, 3 parts, and we are going to take 2 of them. So we're taking 2/3, take 2. So we're going to take this one, this whole row, which is 1/3 of that shaded area, and then this whole row, which would give us 2/3 of that shaded area. Okay, I just realized it's kind of hard to see the shaded area on the video, but this should all look a little pink, that 5/6. So then we're taking 2/3 of the 5/6, and our answer is this little corner here with the X's in it. So let's look at what that would be. We want to find the total parts. The total parts are going to be the number of rectangles going this way times the number of rectangles going this way. So 6 times 3. So 6 times 3 equals 18 total parts. Now let's look at the shaded parts. So we're looking at these ones with the X's through them, because that's the 2/3 of the 5/6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is actually 5 going this way times 2 going that way. 5 times 2 equals 10 shaded parts. So what you see is we just found 6 times 3, that is the denominator times the denominator, gives us the total parts. And then the 5 times 2, that is the numerator times the numerator, which gives us the shaded parts. So we end up with a fraction of 10 out of 18 are shaded. And that's the same answer we got up here just by multiplying numerators, multiplying denominators. So here you're multiplying numerators, you're multiplying denominators to get your answer. And now you could simplify that pictorially as well, because you could imagine turning every 2 rectangles into one bigger rectangle, like taking these 2, making 1, these 2 making 1, these 2 making 1, here's another, and here's another. So that would be 5 out of how many? So let's just continue. That was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all I did is I combined every two rectangles into one bigger rectangle, showing that 10/18 is just the same as 5/9, which we reduced up here. Okay, so that's our first method. Our second method, we're going to use a number line to show this exact same thing. So we have a number line 0 to 1. So 1 is our unit, and we are going to take 5/6 of that. So I've already broken it up into 6 equal segments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5/6 would be here. So that is 5/6. And we want to show 2/3 of that. So we have here, we have 1 segment, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is not divisible by 3, so we can't easily take 1/3 of it. So we break each of those segments into 3. So now instead of having 6 segments, we have 18. Okay, so over here this 1 is actually 18/18. And so this 5/6 becomes 10/18. I'm sorry, 15. Let's write that over. 15/18. If we were to count them, we could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's 15/18. Now we want to take 2/3 of the 5/6. That's what we're doing, 2/3 of 5/6. So if we take these 15 and divide it into thirds, we would get groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'd have this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and the last 5. So we have 1/3, 2/3, 3/3 of the 5/6. So each of these are 5, right? So you get 15/18 here. All right, so again, what are we doing? We're taking 2/3 of this length. So here's 1/3, 2/3. So right here is going to be our answer. That is 2/3 of 5/6. So we have two groups of 5 here, right? So 5, 10. We have 10/18. Because remember, we're working with 18ths now. Okay, so now we'll look at this number, 10/18. This 10 is just the two groups of 5 here, 5 times 2, which was the same as we had up here, numerator times numerator. And the 18, now we started with 6 sections. We broke each of those 6 segments into 3, so we have 18. 6 times 3 is 18. So we get the same answer, 10/18. And just one last note here. This point, 10/18, is the same point as 5/9. Because if we broke this segment into 9ths instead of 18ths, we will see that it's 5/9. So right now we are in 18ths, so if we combine every 2, we'll have 9ths. So here, 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 here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at 5/9. So you can see in both cases we simplified using our picture, and we got the same answer both ways, and we showed that in both cases what you're doing is taking numerator times numerator over denominator times denominator, and here numerator times numerator, 5 times 2 groups, over denominator times denominator, which would be the 6 segments times the 3/18. Okay, in our next video we'll do some examples.